with Jeff Sneider.
Welcome to What's the Deal with Jeff Sneider. Today's the big day where I run down my top 10 of 2013, but a few caveats before we begin. You won't see The Place Beyond the Pines on this list because technically it was at the top of last year's list. I've seen about 120 movies this year, maybe 130, which boils down to about 10 movies a month or a new movie every 2.5 days. Even at that rate, I haven't come close to seeing everything, so apologies in advance to films like Rush, The Act of Killing, 20 Feet from Stardom, Before Midnight, About Time, Blue is the Warmest Color, The Butler, and many more. Before we begin, some honorable mentions in alphabetical order. I loved Blue Caprice, Don John, Enough Said, Prisoners, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Short Term 12, Stories We Tell, The Silence, This Is the End, and the documentary We Steal Secrets about WikiLeaks. Finally, this list represents a snapshot in time. The order might be totally different tomorrow. It's hardly definitive. I've only seen these movies once, with the exception of one of them. Some of them I don't even think I'd ever want to see again, but these films represented the best in cinema this year, so without further ado, let's get started. At number 10, we have American Hustle. While this movie does feel like David O. Russell is trying to ape Martin Scorsese's style at times, there's no denying that it's wildly entertaining thanks to its dynamite performances, even if the director allows his actors to overindulge just a little bit. Jennifer Lawrence is getting all the attention for playing a firecracker of a New Jersey housewife, but for my money, it's Amy Adams and Christian Bale who really make this movie pop. Amy Adams is finally given a chance to be sexy for a change, while Bale goes the opposite route, embracing his character's comb-over and the potbelly. He disappears into this role like a charming chameleon. It's a rollicking good time, and I would definitely recommend it. At number 9, we have The Spectacular Now. I haven't seen this movie since Sundance, and I do intend to take another look at it, but I remember being pinned to my seat when the credits rolled and tears were rolling down my cheeks. Miles Teller's breakout performance in this movie is just full of feeling. The film really captures the ups and downs of young love like no film I've seen in recent years. 500 Days of Summer scribes Scott Neustadter and Michael Weber just do a great job delivering a very touching adaptation of Tim Tharp's novel, and credit is due to director James Ponsoldt for navigating such a tricky tone. A truly fantastic movie. At number 8, we have 12 Years a Slave. Steve McQueen's slavery drama shines light on the darkest chapter in America's history. It's an endurance test that challenges the viewer with its bold depictions of the horrible indignities that slaves were forced to endure. Michael Fassbender is just evil personified as a sadistic slave owner, and Lupita Nyong'o holds her own against him. Chiwetel Ejiofor anchors a fantastic cast. Really, this is a hell of a movie. I don't know if I'll revisit it anytime soon, but there's no denying the artistry on display. At number 7, we have Nebraska. Alexander Payne's latest is a sweet family fable, by equal turns hilarious and sad, especially if you've ever seen a loved one succumb to dementia. Bruce Dern is great as would-be lottery winner Woody Grant, though it's Will Forte and June Squibb who impressed me most. Forte he proved that he's capable of so much more than Saturday Night Live and MacGruber, while June Squibb just steals every scene as his foul-mouthed mother. I loved this movie. I can't say enough about it. Yes, it's black and white, but you have to see it. At number 6, The Wolf of Wall Street, baby. Martin Scorsese proves he's still one of a kind with this look at 80s greed and wanton excess, that this film has energy to spare. It feels like the work of a filmmaker half Scorsese's age, and in a career full of amazing performances, Leonardo DiCaprio's fearless turn as Jordan Belfort may be the one that finally lands him an Oscar. He's just ferocious in the role. Jonah Hill is also the best he's ever been as his right-hand man, Donnie Azoff. And not only is Margot Robbie the most beautiful actress to light up the screen in years, she can actually act too. This film, it's not without its problems, but when it cooks, there's nothing like it. At number 5, we bring it back to Matthew McConaughey once again, Dallas Buyers Club. I don't know why critics are writing this off as little more than a performance movie. Yes, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto are incredible, and I'd fully support Oscar wins for both of them, but let's give director Jean-Marc Vallée some credit. Not only is this an important story, but this is a powerful movie that does a great job of using humor to offset its fairly depressing subject matter. It's about a guy who wanted to use his limited time on this planet to help other people in need when no one else was willing to. It's a beautiful beautiful film, and it really meant a lot to me. At number 4, we've got Captain Phillips. Aside from Tom Hanks' Boston accent, everything in this movie is perfect. It's an edge-of-your-seat suspense ride featuring the best Hanks performance since Road to Perdition. His final scene is just the work of a true master of his craft, and yet newcomer Barkhad Abdi manages to hold his own opposite Hanks in one of the best screen debuts in recent memory. There's an immediacy to this Paul Greengrass film which just left me shaking in my seat. I think I was the last one to leave the theater. Number 3, we've got Lone Survivor. This trailer still makes me cry, and I've seen the movie. I mean, forget Black Hawk Down. Along with The Hurt Locker, this is the best war movie since Saving Private Ryan. It's an amazing true story of incredible courage and selflessness. Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitchen, Emile Hirsch all do really strong work, but it's Ben Foster who delivers the standout performance in this movie. Seeing photos of the actual Navy SEALs who gave their lives to defend this country was just the perfect touch, and an appropriate show of respect for their sacrifice. I love Very Bad Things, but this is Peter Berg's best movie by a mile. He's definitely come a long way from Battleship, that's for sure. At number 2, taking the runner-up medal, is Fruitvale Station. I've seen Ryan Coogler's fearless directorial debut 4 or 5 times now, and its power remains intact with each viewing. Michael B. Jordan deserves an Oscar nomination for his devastating performance, and if he was 10 years older, I think he'd get one. This movie's delivered with a sense of you are there, urgency, that it'll leave you haunted. And at number 1, we have Her. Leave It to Spike Jonze has dreamed up this year's most touching love story. Joaquin Phoenix is exceptional as the lonely protagonist, while Scarlett Johansson creates a fully realized character with just her voice. The flashback scenes with Rooney Mara evoked such emotion that I sobbed my way through a good portion of this film's running time. Jones's vision of the not-too-distant future I found heartbreakingly beautiful, and it captured everything that it means to be human. I love this movie, and if you go to see it and you're willing to let your guard down, I think you will too. This has been my top 10 movies of 2013. Thank you for reading TheWrap.com. You can always follow me on Twitter at TheInSneider.
What's the deal with Jeff Sneider?